All right. So, back at another day, another dollar, right? Let's get this Star Flag Media Day 2 going. Testing out new equipment and sound with my regular headset, as usual. Well, what's today? Today is March 20th, 2023, and it is 11:21 Eastern Standard Time, PM. Well, today's news was slow as far as video games are concerned, right? I think the most exciting thing that happened was a rumor from YouTuber Nintendo Prime. And in his channel, he says he has a credible source. Um, Take this with a grain of salt because he is also the same YouTuber who previously said that he had seen a Nintendo Switch Pro dev kit, and we all know how that turned out. And more than likely, we're just gonna get a new Nintendo Switch or whatever the follow up is. Anyway, uh, well, as we know, there have been a lot of remasters and remakes in the last few years of video games of the past, and on Nintendo's end of things, the most recent one, as of this video, was Metroid Prime remaster, which is an absolute gem of a remaster. They took the original Metroid Prime from the Nintendo GameCube, which is already like a visual workhorse in the Nintendo GameCube library. It really holds up to this day. The fact that it's in 480p or 480i, just maximum resolution back in the day, and it still looks really solid as far as graphics are concerned for a 20-year-old game. Um, and then they go ahead and they make a remaster of this for the Nintendo Switch, and holy crap, does that turn out to be really nice? Uh, you know, especially when you're looking at it on like an OLED Switch. It just really pops off that screen. When you're looking at on your docked mode, this game runs at 900p, but I'd be hard pressed for it to look, you know, any better. It really does look like it's running in 1080p. It's just an all around masterpiece of an already amazing game. So when we're getting remasters like that and remakes left and right from other consoles and other manufacturers and developers, I should say, it's pretty interesting, right? So today's rumor from Nintendo Prime was that F Zero GX from the GameCube library would be seeing a Nintendo Switch remaster of some kind. Now, if you remember, GX came out in arcades as AX, I believe, and GX for the GameCube. So F Zero, the GameCube version, was co developed with Sega, of all people. And they did a masterful job. That game runs at a silky smooth 60 frames per second on GameCube at 480p. Does lack a widescreen mode, but back then that really wasn't the norm. It's we're talking about 20 years ago, where widescreen TVs and even HD TVs were just starting to hit the market in a meaningful way. So the aspect ratio in this game is 4:3, but holy crap, does that game still look good as well? And again, it's just the frame rate is just rock solid. So many people regard that as the best version of F Zero. Super Nintendo one was fantastic. The one on N64 was great. For its time. Also another solid 60 frame per second game. Um, and then all of a sudden, after GX, there was just radio silence. We've got nothing for the Wii, the entire lifespan. We got nothing on Wii U, the entire lifespan. And now here we are with the Switch. And we're nearing the end of the Switch. Let's keep it real. And still no kind of a sign of an F-Zero game. It's not like even, other franchises that Nintendo kind of tucks away, like Star Fox, where you may see one every generation, or a reboot or a remake of, Star Fox 64 at the very least. Metroid was like that for a while. It did skip, the N64. But the rumor that Nintendo Prime has is the developer is actually going to be uh, Next Level Games. Now, Next Level Games used to be a third party, and now they're wholly owned by Nintendo. And the last really big games that they made were the Mario Striker series, and I believe Luigi's Mansion was a game they worked on. But Next Level Games isn't really known for porting old console games and remastering them to this capacity. And, for a game like F-Zero, which has missed, two console generations now, and now it's on its way out for Nintendo Switch, supposedly, to have Nintendo take a look at that game and go, who could really make this work? Not Namco that made the arcade version, not Sega that made the original GameCube version. Let's get the guys that make Mario Strikers, and not that Mario Strikers has even been that great lately. I mean, the Switch game is okay, but let's keep it real. Like, the Mario Strikers on GameCube, I believe, was probably the best one, and then after that, it's just been. Yeah, so these are the guys that are probably going to make F-Zero GX for Switch. If that's the case, I'm a little worried. But who knows? Maybe they pull one out of their butts, because every 2-3 games, every couple years or so, Next Level Games makes a decent game, and I'll be damned. Maybe they have something up their sleeve that I'm not aware of. I hope they prove me wrong. That'd be ideal, right? And if we can't have a brand new F-Zero, I'm totally okay with F-Zero GX. Let's get that game back out. I mean, the Switch has so many ports of previous console games and generations and everything that at this point, why not port the best version of GX? We've already got like the Nintendo online with the Super Nintendo games on there where you can play the original F-Zero and whatnot. So hey, why not bring the GameCube game over, port it, make a remaster of it full, if they can make it 1080p, or hell, at this rate, 900p, and run at 60 frames per second on Switch. That's the important part. They got to get that frame rate right. If they don't get that right, then don't even bother. If they're going to bring us a 720p, 30 frames per second version of this game, I'm out. And most people will be. Now, the sweet spot for this game will probably be $39.99 like they did with Metroid. And if they can bring other GameCube titles, they might be able to extend the life of the Nintendo Switch, believe it or not, with some soft remasters of these old classic GameCube games. I mean, hell, they brought so many Wii U games over to the Switch that, yeah, it would just be ideal, right? These games were just huge on Nintendo Switch when they totally missed the mark on Wii U, like New Super Mario Brothers U and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which at this point is 12-year-old game or something like that. And here we are with Mario Kart 8 not slowing down in sales every holiday. It's at the top of the charts. I mentioned that in the last live that I did here, but it is what it is. Yeah, F-Zero GX, huh? Let's see if that happens. On that same note, if Nintendo is going to use these smaller developers, or these developers that are really not known for doing huge franchises, then hell, let's bring back some of the better forgotten franchises. Let's do a Kid Icarus remaster, the 3DS game, and let's see how those games can be rebuilt for a Nintendo Switch audience. Or let's get games that, there's lots of games on the Wii U that are still not on Switch, that would easily port over. I mean, bring the other Pikmin games over, the ones that came out on Wii. Pikmin 3 before Pikmin 4 comes out. I mean, these are just uh, good ideas in my opinion, and easy ways for Nintendo to just kind of cash in on these franchises. Pikmin 4 is probably going to be a big seller for them, a few million copies for sure, right? I mean, it's not exactly the biggest franchise they have, but that's what we're rounding off this year with, and Nintendo's going to have a pretty solid year all the way up to September. Um, that's what they've shown us so far with their directs, and yeah. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing that I saw today in gaming news, and not sure whether or not, that is resonating with anybody else. But if it does take place, if Nintendo Prime is correct on this one, it would be, I think, pretty cool. I think we can work with the new F Zero reboot. And maybe if the sales are strong enough for this one, they might, look at Shigeru Miyamoto and go, hey, how about you consult a new, fresh team to take a look at F Zero and bring a new version of that franchise over for whatever the next Nintendo is called, Nextendo. Anyways, that's it for me today. It's 11:32. Just doing a quick, 10-minute broadcast or so, and to an audience of zero. Hopefully this takes off, and I'm gonna start posting some of these videos over to YouTube. You can follow me there if you wish. You follow me below. That's Star Flag Media. You can follow me on Twitch as well. Same name, Star Flag Media. And yeah, leave any comments or any thoughts that you might have regarding F Zero GX for Switch.